So I deleted all my dating apps, right? But my issue is now that I need some ideas on what to do to put myself out there, because what I'm doing already is not working. Like, I already go to the gym every single day, okay? So I'm out in public at the gym. Now I started doing some workout classes outside of my norm, like yoga once a week, and then I do one workout class on the weekend in a completely different area of the city. Still have not met anybody. I go to Target, go to Trader Joe's. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. Like, what do I after work? I don't get home till 7. I'm starving. Like, am I supposed to go sit at a bar by myself? What am I supposed to do? I don't want to go sit at a bar by myself. I also don't want things that I'm spending money every single day just because, and then it still fails. I thought about trying to go to the gym in the evenings because I just love the gym and I want somebody that also works out as much as I do. But the thing is, when I get home from work at 7, I'm starving, I want to eat dinner. I don't want to go to the gym. And even if I do, at that point, 8:30, am I gonna meet somebody at that time at the gym? It's not even busy anymore, I don't think.
Week 1 of approaching men. Here we go. So y'all said women are not approachable anymore and we need to be the ones doing the approaching. So I'm testing it out, okay, to see what it's all about. It's not something I usually do, so this was very new to me. But hey, I jumped in. So the first one ended up being 22. Like, I have no perception of how old people are anymore. The second one was probably 62. And I didn't realize he had a ring on. So, like, until after the fact, I was like, oh, that's why he's, like, not even trying to make eye contact. Okay. There's a lot of details to consider. So, yeah, I give y'all men credit, and I give, any woman credit who's out here trying to approach. It's kind of hard, but I'm going to keep going. So the Taste of Chicago is this weekend, so I'm going to be out there. I'm going to try to get some footage, but keep watching, y'all, because this is going to be fun.
How do I feel about women approaching men? As a homegirl, I'll tell you this. Men love when women approach them, because then the man gets to not be the man for the day. For the moment, the man doesn't get to be the man. He gets to be the woman. He gets to be the woman that gets to decide, do I want you or do I kick you to the curb? It's kind of a biased thing because I feel like approaching men is so masculine. Like, I don't think you should have to force yourself to put yourself out there. If a man sees you from across the room and he wants that, a confident man will come and get that. But if you are the type of person that don't want to wait for that moment in time, you have to put yourself out there. So you might have to sit at the bar. Allow a man to buy you a drink. You might have to go to where they are. You might have to go to the racetracks. You might have to go to the football games. You have to, if you want to approach a man, you have to meet them halfway. If you are going to approach a man as a woman, you need to be confident. Don't nobody want to talk to no girl that's all shy and, hi, my name is... No, you have to go there like you own the room. If that's not your personality, wait for your prince to come to you. I'm traditional. I love traditional ways. The man gotta come to me. There's billions of people on this earth. Someone will come to you. Like, what? Like, what? You're beautiful. Like, why wouldn't a man want to talk to you? From my experience, men like to say that I give off intimidating. I give off I don't want to be spoken to. No, you're just not the man for me. Because a man for me that want me gonna come get me. He gonna come get me. I tried shooting my shot at a man twice. It was the most humiliating thing I ever done, and I will never do it again. I will never let a man make me feel like that ever again, because now it gives begging. And now it gives you're the woman, because how dare you. Also, another thing, if you want to approach a man, you have to be ready to hear a no. You decided to put yourself out there, all men ain't gonna say yes. They're not gonna say yes. And a lot of men that like women to approach them first are insecure. That's why they like the woman to approach them. They're insecure. They're not confident. So, me, personally, the man gotta come to me. But if you want to go to the man, you do that, but you have to be confident. You have to know what you want.
I mean, y'all keep on saying confident man, and then y'all keep on getting approached by weirdos. The people that y'all don't want. oh, well, he gets to be the woman and he gets to pick and choose. You shouldn't have to put yourself out there. You should be able to communicate effectively at some point in time. Y'all need to stop being lazy.
What is the number one reason men don't approach beautiful women? I'm scared of women. Respecting people's privacy, personal space, and time. Two things. The first is coming off like a creep, and two, the fear of rejection. A third is a combination of both. Most adults are in relationships. Most strangers are not compatible enough to be in a relationship, regardless of how beautiful they are. There are much better ways to meet a potential partner than approaching a stranger in a coffee shop.
These black men that are commenting on my video about black men not approaching women anymore, they starting to get on my nerves. Like, I get it. Half of y'all don't like women. Don't know what that's about, but no, I ain't gonna go into that. Another percent is just going off of trends of social media. Another percent believe that they're the prize. And then there's a small percentage of black men that are like, we're just happy to be here. We're gonna take the chance because we love black women. They're actually like giving advice to people, not coming with negativity and saying, y'all women this, y'all women that. So women, if y'all want to add to this conversation, please do. All those men with all that negative energy, please move to the back immediately.
And once again, there's a woman in the comments that said it feels like for about 10 years, women have been saying not to. What's the response? Exactly.
Hey, I love your outfit. Did you pick it out yourself this morning? Did someone else pick it out for you? Did you dress yourself this morning? Did you brush your teeth? Oh, by the way, your shoe's untied. Psych. Gotcha. Oh, by the way, you have something on your shirt. Oh, just kidding. Gotcha again. Do you put your clothes in the laundry basket or do you put them on the floor next to the laundry basket? I'm just curious. By the way, do you want my number, perchance? Perhaps you would want my number. I really like the proportions your body are. I like the proportions of your body. It's like very proportionate. You look great. Would you perchance want my number?
Just wanted to address this comment that I had in regards to the post I put up about everyone being single nowadays. Excuse me, here by the way, I've just been out in the wind. Which says, forgive me if you disagree, but we're part of a generation who grew up on girl power. It's all about being independent and not needing a man, which I agree with, but the downside is men don't want to... What does it say? It's something about we don't want traditional values, women don't want traditional values. So I just want to say that is not how women think. Like, the women, all my friends are women. Like, everyone I surround myself really is women. That's just naturally because we're kind of probably into the same type of things. And women are pretty traditional. Like, I was in a pub in Dundee, a place called the Trade House, a couple of months ago, and with 3 of my friends. And we went in. I'd never been in before, but we were told it was a good place to go, so thought we'll go there before this Morgan Wallen tribute band. And we went in, and the whole place was men. Every single person in there was men. And you kind of think that you're kind of brought up to think that men will approach you if they're interested. Not a single man in there spoke to any of us, which is just wild because, I don't know. And then as a woman, you don't really want to go up and speak to a man because it's like chase a man. It's all a bit weird. It's how it all works, but I am super traditional, and I would never, and none of my friends would ever find it creepy for a man to come up and speak to us. I think you can get a vibe from someone, a man or a woman, in general, if they're interested or not. I think it only becomes creepy if you are consistently pursuing someone that is obviously showing that they're not interested. But in terms of, not wanting to approach a woman, I think that's really sad that women are happy to be approached. They are. But like with anyone, listen to their words and their body language, and if they seem not interested, then they're not interested. But women do want men to speak to them. Obviously, if they're not in relationships or married, but how are you going to know that? Like, they would tell you that at the time. But yeah, that was my thoughts on your comment.
A lot of men are now leaving it up to women to ask for their phone number, pursue them, holler at them. And we talking about men over 40, right? And it's crazy to me because literally a generation before them, those men were the hunters and, pursuing women. And I'm confused because I don't know what the hell happened. Is it the Me Too movement that fish up? Or is it the feminist movement? Which none I am a part of, okay? I didn't ask for this. I'm trying to figure out who dropped the ball. Because now we got a whole bunch of men walking around here like they want to be the women and we the men. And it's tiring as honestly. You meet somebody and they really expect you to like hit them up. They don't do no more. And it's really sad that we have these type of men now. But I don't know if it's our fault, not me personally, but women's fault as a whole, because we kind of made these like this. You know what I'm saying? Like scared to approach us, scared to say, scared to like even be intimate with you. Men are naturally meant to be the hunters, and women are the gatherers. Like women don't even have a mental capacity to chase men like how a man is supposed to with a woman. You know what I'm saying? It ain't even in our nature to do it, but it's like we're being pushed into that, and it's not a natural thing. I'm ready for this end. So I'm just trying to figure it out. I'm asking hard questions here, like what the happened to these men out here? We need to go back to how it was, because I don't know how many of y'all sisters is built for this, but honestly, I'm not. Okay? We need to put out a PSA. We need to get on a bullhorn and be like, wait a minute. We want to go back to how it was 10 years ago. I'm tired. Okay, get on your, send an email, because we need this to be a national campaign against whatever happened. We need to go back to how it was, because I ain't built for this. Let me know if you are.
I mean, you guys act like it matters what the age is. Y'all be trying to rip a man's dignity from him right there in the middle of a Walmart. And y'all say, well, you 60, you should be able to handle it. I've never wanted to be able to handle disrespect. Never wanted to be able to handle somebody trying to insult me, especially in public.
So why do men no longer come up to women? I asked this in a TikTok last week, and it got so many comments, especially from men. And I just want to preface this with, this was no shade to men. This post was no shade to men, and neither is this one. I was just genuinely curious and asking. I love men. I think they're awesome, and I think that they're a little confused right now. But most of their responses said something like, we were told not to go up to you guys, and we were told that you want to be left alone and you just want your own space and you don't want us approaching you. Which for some women that can absolutely be true, but I love meeting people in person, and I just think that it takes a confident person to go up to someone when you see them in person, and I think it's a really cool way to meet people rather than meeting people online. Men were also saying things like they were called creeps and weirdos, and they don't want to be called that. It's not a pleasant experience. But I will say that it has to do with how you approach a woman. Like, for example, myself and my friends have had men come up to us with a really, really intense energy, like a very in-your-face energy, and they're really nervous and they're kind of scattered and they're very pushy or weird, and their energy is just off. And one of the most attractive things to a woman is emotional intelligence, and that shows within like the first few seconds of meeting someone when they introduce themselves to you. So if you're gonna go up to a woman, just like take a calm, deep breath. If you see a woman working on her laptop or something at a cafe, you can go up to her and be like, hey, my name is so-and-so. I thought you were really beautiful and you seem interesting. I would love to get to know you more if you're interested. And then slipping her your number on a napkin or something, you know? Like just coming up to women with a calm energy and not giving off this like needy energy or this like pushy energy. I think that is what women don't like. I think it's really sweet and cute to be approached in person, and I know that there's a lot of women like me. There's probably some women out there who don't want to be approached, and that's fine, and it's hard to tell who's who. But I think you can tell when you go up to a girl kind of right away if she'd be interested or not based on her body language, and just be calm and natural and don't overthink it. You know, I know that's easier said than done. I've only gone up to a man once in my whole life, but I think that might help. I don't know, I think I'm just someone who's very interested in people interacting with each other and having experiences and building community. And I think the world is growing more and more introverted and people are on their phones more, and I just think it's beautiful to meet people out and in person, and I just don't want to lose that as a humanity.
Dude in the comments said we're not confused. We listen to women, and that's why we stopped approaching. Y'all keep on thinking it's one thing and it's not. A man tells you this is why we're not coming up to you, and y'all decide that can't be it, it's got to be something else. No. Y'all were saying silly stuff, and now there's consequences for that.
I hear so many men on here commenting on my videos basically saying, like, I don't approach women because I'm scared that they'll accuse me of something and, you know, like, my life will be ruined, all this kind of stuff. And I understand, like, that obviously does happen. And it's a valid fear, but I think it's like living for the extreme, and you could say that about anything. You could literally say that about getting a plane, like, oh, I would never fly because, you know, planes crash, or I would never get on a horse because someone's died riding a horse. Like, yeah, like, there are obviously risks to everything, but I think as long as you approach a woman respectfully and have like good intentions behind it, whatever, and respect their answer, it's not going to be an extreme situation. And I think that men who say that a lot of times are cowardly, like they're just afraid and they're using that as an excuse. So that's just my opinion, honestly. But
I always find it funny that modern women are able to critique how a man approaches what a man does, but they can never fully make the adjustments to what they're doing. They always are able to hold a man accountable, not themselves. A woman says in the comments, it's definitely the approach. And understand no means no, but some men come off as creepy and girls don't like that. Hey girl, what's up? Just be sweet and genuine about it. Right. There's plenty of men that are sweet and genuine about it, but y'all still act like y'all don't have any good sense.
Dating is hard as a single woman. It is awful. It's honestly worse than I could have ever imagined.
Yeah. What?
It was easier being single at 19 than it is as a 25-year-old.
That's crazy.
Wait, why though?
I feel like guys used to have so much confidence and they'd approach you. Like, I don't know, when you're younger, it's just so much easier. I feel
haven't been rejected as much.
Yeah. And now I'll go out and I'm like, woo, you know, I'm going to get some attention tonight, and no one speaks to me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, am I the most hideous human in the world?
No. Me and Cass always speak about this though. Like,
the bar is in hell.
We've spoken about this a lot of times, and it seems like it's an issue that's getting more and more traction. Like, it's not actually getting solved.
Here's what I think about when it comes to men approaching women. Why don't you do it more often? Honestly, I'm getting sick of everyone being like, well, women have just shoved us out so hard where they don't want to be approached anymore. I'm like, okay, listen. First of all, you can tell a vibe if it's there or not immediately, right? A guy came up to my friend and I at Boondocks and he was like, are you guys from here? And we're like, yeah, or we're not from here, but like, we live here now. And whenever you go to Boondocks in Scottsdale, you know they're going to be surrounded by bachelor parties, okay? So like, just keep your eyes open, keep everything peeled. Like, you're going to probably be around some guys that are trying to like, look to just be there, hit it and quit it, which is, you know, I mean, good for you. He came in and he was like asking us where they should go. And we're like, you don't have anything planned? He's like, no. I'm like, okay, well, that just seems like wrong, and it seems like an excuse for you to come up to us. But like, we weren't mean to him. We were just like talking to him. Like, it was a conversation. I think like, if you just go up to a woman and have a conversation, why not just try it? I don't get it. The Falcos in Scottsdale. I think the biggest thing for me is that I'm a confident, outgoing person. I really do have no problem going up to someone, but like, I want to see if a man has confidence and comes up to me, because that's what I ultimately find sexy. You know, like, if you have confidence and you have a good personality and you come up to me and you have no problem doing it and having a conversation, like, I'm into it. I think that's really sweet. Obviously, it depends how the conversation goes. If I can read that you're just kind of like a weirdo after that, like, then I'm going to be like, okay, swerve, right? But you can hold a conversation, then most likely I'm like, okay, cool. Hey, how you doing? I don't plan to meet the love of my life at a bar, but you never know. It's just getting to a point where I'm like, wow, men and women really are not speaking at bars anymore. It's everything I wanted and more. You would have thought I haven't eaten in days. What the fuck?
When you say I don't chase women, my first initial thought is, well, then go find your man. You likely aren't making plans. You aren't initiating conversation. Your text messages are really dry. What are you doing? Are you wanting the woman to chase you? Because if that's the case, then you probably aren't even into women. You're probably into men. I just don't get it when men say things like this. You probably don't text first in the morning. You don't say good morning. You don't say good night. You don't check in. Like, you want to be single. That's what you should be. If you're not pursuing a woman, then you want to be a woman. Like, this is the problem with guys nowadays. They're so feminine that they want the women to do their job. No.
It don't really matter to me what your initial thought was. Nobody cares. You ain't nobody. A man in the comments said arrogant in their 20s, delusional in their 30s, bitter in their 40s, alone in their 50s, and forgotten in their 60s.
And that whole men don't approach women in public anymore. We're not buying that. We're not buying that. We're just not walking across the room to get rejected by a woman that's not worth getting rejected by.
I tried this new thing yesterday and I think that it really worked. I was walking down the street and this guy starts catcalling me and he was like, "You look so sexy, baby. Like, you look so good today, blah, blah, blah." And I just looked at him and I was like, "Oh my God, thanks, girl." And I just like flipped my hair and I was like, "Thanks, girly pop." He looked so confused and he didn't say one more word. He was silenced. And to me, that's a sign of success. So I'm going to do it again and you should try it.
Men aren't really putting out effort. They're not putting out any type of effort like they used to.
Well, a lot of them have said the juice ain't worth the squeeze. I mean, I've literally had men say that verbatim in my comment section. Women who told me, they're like, it's just not worth, the juice ain't worth the squeeze. The amount of effort that it requires to actually connect with these women no longer even, it's not worth it. Because we do all this extra effort. You want us to do all these different things. And then half of y'all just want a dinner date. Half of y'all just want your food paid for because you can't afford your own food.
It's almost like these women have been living under a rock with men telling them why they don't approach anymore.
Well, men aren't approaching us, so now we have to take matters into our own hands. And while I can understand the frustration, doing something invasive or creepy just really is not the answer. Now, as I always do, I do want to try and see the other side, so let's be fair for a second. There is a very real trend happening right now that I'm sure we're all aware of. More and more men are hesitant to approach women. Point blank, period. I've talked about this before on my channel, and I think this context is really important here. Men today are worrying about being seen as creepy, not wanting to make women feel even more uncomfortable than they already do. You know, women are saying online that they don't want to be approached, so men are sort of listening. I think there's this dating culture that makes approaching really feel like a risk. I think there's a general sense of confusion about what women actually want. And then obviously the fear of rejection that's always kind of been there. And I think as a woman, it is really easy to say, oh, men just don't have confidence anymore, or they just need to approach us and get over it. But I think that is such an oversimplification. A lot of men do want to approach women. They're just being incredibly cautious because they're not sure how they'll be received. I would argue that most men don't want to add to the problem and make women feel uncomfortable.
Men don't come up and ask or talk to you anymore. Why are men not confident enough to walk up to women now? The masculinity on earth has diminished.
Y'all dug this hole for yourselves, man. Man was approaching y'all. Y'all told us stop.
Men are really terrified out here, bro, of being labeled as a creep and being inappropriate or like
getting embarrassed in public. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean? End up viral because you asked the woman out in the most respectful way. Like, you know what I mean? So I think men are just choosing their peace at the end of the day. Like, and we're not gonna go out our way unless we know that it's 100%. You know how field goal percentage? The field goal percentage got to
be 100.
So we ain't just taking those like low field goal percentage shots.
Are women that hard to talk to? You know what? When I was like a girl dating dudes, I didn't get it. But when I had to be the person, because like I think one thing that women don't think about is like women are mean. Women are mean. Women can be so mean. And especially, I think, to, I would say, masculine presenting people as a masculine presenting person. But like to men, women are mean.
So I'm going to say this. I know there's some quality ladies that still want to be approached. But you got to understand how much the game has drastically changed for reasons Sam J was telling Joy Taylor. You feel me? So you got to adapt. You either got to make those flirty signs extra heavy, extra obvious, or you gotta initiate things yourself. Look, this is the times we in right now, you feel me? And unfortunately, A lot of men are feeling like it's too risky these days. And more they feeling like the risk ain't worth the reward.
No, it's really interesting that no respectful man has ever been afraid to approach a woman. You know how many men approach women in respectful ways and they never have to worry about whether it's okay to approach a woman or not? If you do it respectfully, it's totally okay. If you go under a post of mine about a professional achievement and call me the hottest doctor on the net, I'm allowed to find that inappropriate. I am allowed to respond to what you said about my body under my post without you having to cry wolf about it.
I don't know what they be talking about. They just be talking at this point.
The comments on this video are harrowing because it really shows that men have no idea what the difference between harassment and flirting is. Literally, Google it. Harassment, commenting on a woman's body, being inappropriate to her, whistling from a car, is not the same thing as having a genuine romantic interest in someone. It's about respect. Harassment, the goal is not to actually get your number or to sleep with you. The goal is to remind you that you are in a public space and that your body is not yours. That once you go into a public space, you're free to be commented on and sexualized. This is the whole problem. Women saying that men don't politely, respectfully approach them in a romantic way is not the same thing as women complaining about harassment.
Difference for a lot of you modern women is just that he's not 6 feet tall with 6 figures.
You know that I find having really intellectual conversations with somebody, something that's emotionally engaging and intellectually satisfying, is that it is a sexual stimulant. And there's a lot of women out there who do the same. I think there's a lot of men out there too. That the higher you are intellectually, the more you talk. It's just kind of they go hand in hand. But it's like a sexual stimulant to them. Like I don't want to say that I get off on having those conversations, but I get off better after having those conversations. And it's really sad that a lot of men are like, I would just rather have someone who shuts up and sits next to me, and that I myself as a man can get off on her, but who the cares if she gets off with me? Who cares about her emotions? Who cares about what she's thinking about? Who cares about the conversation or what she dealt with her day? I don't want to deal with that. I want to completely avoid having to have any type of conversation with my partner. I just want her there to, be a placeholder. And how sad and embarrassing is that as a grown-ass adult to sit here and say, you just want someone to be a placeholder? That you're unable to have a conversation with an adult woman, with any type of woman that is stimulating in any sort of way. Like, you have to be able to have complex conversations with someone, especially your partner. You have to be able to be vulnerable and to be able to sit with them and say, hey, I was thinking about this today. If you don't offer safety in that mindset to your partner's never going to be a partner with you. They're never going to be a partner with you. Why would you want that? Why would you want to not have to do it? It's because when men say that they want peace in a relationship, that 100% translate to they want to completely avoid to have any sort of emotional engagement. They don't want to have any sort of conflict management. They want none of that. They just want someone to sit next to them so that they can feel like they're in a partnership. Women, stay away from these type of men. I think I'm just going to start using these types of comments as examples of the type of men that women need to start staying away from. Because the moment that he says he wants peace in a relationship, you should walk away. Because he is going to emotionally avoid you. He's not going to be there. He's not going to be able to have conversation with you. If he tells you talk too much, walk the way. I want someone I can gab to. I want someone that I can have whatever the kind of conversation about. I want to be able to talk about shit's going on the TV in the world. I am a talker, and I do that for a reason because I enjoy it. And if my partner ever says that they just want me to shut up and just be there, how disrespectful is that? It's completely disrespectful. It just shows an avoidant behavior, and women need to stay away from that.
An older gentleman in the comments said, I've been married for 34 years. Just coming home to her brings peace. Having dinner with her brings me peace. Just being together brings me peace. She is magical in that way. I give my love and undivided attention in return. Men can do that. Men, they do that a lot of times. It's just a lot of these modern women, man, they just keep up so much drama all day long. They text you about drama. They call you about drama. You never get any time for yourself. And in some of these situations, it's not necessarily that the drama has to do with you. It's just drama everywhere. And you be so focused on trying to work and solve a problem that you be like, God, dog, is there ever anything positive that you have to say? My dad used to say that to us. We come home, first thing from school we talk about is negativity. Negative. And we go on like, man, you let us go. We be in there for like 4 or 5 minutes. And my dad would just stop us. He'd be like, did anything good happen today? Did anything good happen today? And he probably thought that way because he was in sales. Because he was in sales. He used to do mortgages and stuff like that. He used to make a lot of money. And so he used to talk to us about the importance of thinking positive and having a winner's mindset and a mindset to attack, and to just keep your mind high up emotionally so you can go make that sale. You're always thinking, you have to go through so many no's to get a yes. You have to say, okay, that next one is going to be yes. Positivity. And after him working for as long as he did, just to come home or be in the house, we hop in the car and the first thing we doing is talking about negative stuff. We were disrupting his peace. We were disrupting that man's peace. And he just got tired and said, was there anything good that happened today? Was there anything positive that happened today? Tell me about something good. And that's what men are essentially saying to a lot of these modern women. Was there anything today that happened good? Anything positive? Tell me about that.
After reading tens of thousands of your comments over the years, I know there are a multitude of reasons why even the most desirable men are walking away from dating. It can be summed up with, the juice ain't worth the squeeze. If you're a man, let me know which ones resonate. And if you're a woman who wants to attract and keep a good man, you may want to pay attention and make some personal adjustments to make sure your juice is worth it. All right, let's do this. Jake will be our fictional man ready to go MGTOW. 1. Unrealistic expectations. If you watch any of the Red Pill channels, you'll probably have seen a panel of high-maintenance, low-value women listing off their must-haves. 6 feet tall, 6-pack abs, and a minimum of a 6-figure income or a trust fund, your typical Chad. Now, the truth is, those women are selected for their clickbaitable audacity. Just like men perhaps secretly desire the perfect woman, a perfect 10 who's an angel in public and an OnlyFans in the bedroom, men can be happy with a decent woman who isn't perfect but who makes them feel good overall. However, though most women can be happy without a Chad, they have been brainwashed by both men and other women to think they should want them. And at the slightest sign of lack, they look for excuses to dismiss a good man who might actually be the perfect fit for them. Key point, while some women are setting up OnlyFans accounts, most women aren't pushing the angel OF ideal. There's a reason. More on that in a minute. Example, Jake went on several dates where he felt that the woman he had met had a long requirements checklist. One date ended rather abruptly when he mentioned he didn't have a 6-figure salary yet. Many men feel pressured by unrealistic expectations, leading to feelings of inadequacy and frustration. Unfortunately, some men have unknowingly encouraged women's expectations by constantly saying that's what we all want. If you say something loud enough and long enough, people start to believe it. Women instinctively know this. That is why women's body positivity started. Ladies and gentlemen need to stop telling women they want the perfect man and start acknowledging that kindness, loyalty, and reliability, along with shared values, compatible beliefs, and goals are what we all truly need. 2. Past negative experiences. A lot of men have had bad experiences with women, whether they missed the red flags that were there, ignored them, or were masterfully manipulated. Past negative experiences can tarnish their outlook on all women. The unfortunate part is those men often actually don't trust themselves to see the flags or to throw back a throwback when she displays them, because he might believe that's all he can get. Example, after a painful breakup where Jake's girlfriend cheated on him, he found it difficult to trust women again. He decided to take a break from dating and heal to focus on himself. Past negative experiences can leave lasting scars, causing men to step back from dating to avoid further hurt. So ladies need to understand that just like we have psychological self-defense mechanisms to protect ourselves, so do men. Practice gentle understanding. It costs nothing but is a priceless gift. 3. Financial burden. Even though there are more women than men in post-ed nowadays, and many are making a lot of money, most women want a man to make at least as much as they do. However, supply and demand mean those men are in short supply and have plenty of options. Even a good man may not feel like busting his balls on a date to an entitled princess or provide a lifestyle that reaches beyond his income. Example, Jake noticed he was spending a significant portion of his income on dates and gifts, trying to maintain a lifestyle to impress his dates. He felt financially drained and decided it wasn't sustainable. The financial burden of dating can be overwhelming, leading some men to prioritize financial stability over romantic pursuits, with some fellas choosing to rent instead of buy, or shop abroad where their money goes further. Ladies must realize wealthy men have plenty of options, even if some of those options are gold diggers. If you have embraced the bounty of breaking the glass ceiling, you may need to adjust your financial expectations of men and consider other high-value traits like financial responsibility. 4. Lack of appreciation. Unlike many moons ago, now women can do pretty much everything for themselves or hire someone who can. How many times have we heard a woman say, "I don't need no man"? Well, I'll tell you, many times, too many. If a man isn't needed, it's difficult to appreciate him. No one thrives in a relationship where they feel they can be easily replaced or discarded. Example, Jake frequently planned thoughtful dates and went out of his way for his dates, but rarely received even a tepid thank you, never mind any kind of reciprocation effort, and he felt rarely appreciated, but instead taken for granted. Feeling unappreciated can be very discouraging. Men, like everyone else, need to feel valued in a relationship. Ladies, you can practice appreciating the men in your lives. Show at least as much appreciation to a generous man as you would to your best friend.
Dude in the comments said, it's not a problem that you can fix as long as the courts are like they are. The risk is just too high. And that's what men are doing. Not to say that, we don't like women, but the risk in a lot of these situations for a lot of the men is just too high, man. I don't hate you. It's just, it's a business decision. That's all it is. I know you don't like to hear that, but the environment that some of these ladies have created, it's not safe. It's not stable. There's so much chaos going on, so much drama. And it's no wonder that men wouldn't want to be part of that. So when a man starts walking away from dating, then, obviously some women out there get confused about it as to why he's doing that. But the man is telling you right here, as most men do, the risk is too high. Well, what are the risks? I don't want to end up on TikTok. That is a very real concern for me. Well, why do you say that? Why is that such a big deal? Just take it on the chin and keep on moving. If somebody sees me on TikTok, even though they're, oh man, ha ha he he, it'd be one thing if they just laughed at me, but I could lose my job. I could lose my livelihood. People can start taking stuff away from me, and I lose out financially. I don't want that to happen. Number one. Number two, I don't know where I can approach you in the mall. I can approach you sitting at a restaurant. Hey, miss, how you doing? Respectfully. You say you. Who wants to go home feeling like, man, what did I do wrong? No one. Well, it's just a part of the game. Y'all keep on saying it's a part of the game when y'all do people wrong. It's just a part of the game, just to absolve yourself of and escape accountability. Instead of just saying, yeah, we need to tighten up on that. We need to get better on that. Y'all keep on saying, well, that's just the way it goes. Toughen up, man. Why would a man want to be around that?
I know this is gonna ruffle some feathers, but I honestly think the real reason why men say that black women are problematic, or why it's a lot of interracial dating going on, because most men, the average man, not all men, do prefer a emotionally low maintenance woman. And I think a lot of black women are emotionally high maintenance, because the average black woman is strong. The average black woman does not put up with just anything. Like, you're not gonna treat her anyway. You're not gonna just disrespect her and think she's gonna be quiet about it, or just settle for less. Like, especially how hard society has made it to be black in the world, especially in America. It's like you have no choice but to be resilient. So when it comes to a relationship and when it comes to a man, that can hurt the ego. If you're not a man who knows who you are, or who is intentional, or who can see the value in a woman who does not just feed your ego and tell you what you want to hear, but who will tell you things out of love and will hold you to a higher standard, because you need to grow and she needs to grow, and she's not going to fake like things are okay if they're not.
I see what you're saying, but I think most men prefer black, white, red, or yellow, a feminine woman. It really is that simple. A feminine woman. Now, you have degrees of femininity. Some women grew up tomboys, but when a man hangs out with her, she's still a woman. She does boy activities. Maybe she wears a ball cap. Maybe she dresses a little bit more on the, I guess you would say, masculine side. But you can tell when you talk to her and the way she acts, she's still a woman. She's still very much a woman. She loves the way a woman should love. She speaks and she acts, for the most part, the way a woman should act. If she's out there in the bars all the time, punching people and hitting people and kicking people, and just general crime, like, nobody's gonna like that. And I'll even go a step further. You have women that are criminals. They act hard, cuss like my dad used to say, a drunken sailor. But even still, they find somebody that likes them, because when they get around that man, they soften up completely. I mean, just a code switch, and the man could be right there, and she's talking to somebody else. You be, you did, and then she, sorry, baby, I had to handle it. He like, whoa, I better not mess with her. That's what he's saying to himself. Whoa, my woman's a feisty one, right? But she's not bringing that energy to me. She's not bringing that energy in the house. Is it the most healthy dynamic? Probably not. I'm just saying that to show you that there are varying degrees of femininity. It's not necessarily a one size fits all, but these women are not even in the shoe. They're not even trying to stick their foot in the shoe. They're not even trying to fit it. They're looking at it and saying, nah, give me the other one. Give me masculinity. Give me the strong, independent woman. And a man is saying, if you're going to wear those shoes, I don't want to be around that. Nah, that ain't for me. The men are intimidated. Call me whatever you want, but that's not what I want to be around. Men are looking for femininity.
Why do so many men avoid their wives?
The short answer is because that man does not feel good around his wife. They've got something in between them in the relationship, a block, a wall that's stopping them from connection. And when he's around her, he feels like he's less than the man he is in other situations. Maybe he feels like the man at work. Maybe he feels like the man when he's out for beers with his boys. But when he's around his woman, he doesn't feel like he's the man. That crushes a man's soul over time. And if that's the situation he has at home, I can guarantee you he's going to be spending less time at home than he probably wants to. Let me know if you agree with me down below in the comments.
I know men are also afraid of rejection in dating, but is it for the same reason women are? So I was talking with my friends about why we are nervous to approach men in real life, and our thought process is that we're nervous that the guy is gonna basically be like, you're actually the ugliest person I've ever seen in my whole entire life and you should go die. And I've heard from like some of my guy friends like that they're afraid to approach to come off as like creepy. But I'm also curious, like, are guys afraid to approach for the same concept where they're afraid if they go up to a girl, like the girl will be like, you're actually the ugliest person in the whole entire world, blah, blah, blah. Like, same thing. Even though like we both genders know, and everyone knows that like a normal person, if someone approached you and hit on you and you weren't interested, like you would be like polite and like turn them down, and then it would kind of be over as long as no one gets creepy or anything. Versus like no one is really gonna go off and be like, hey, you're actually the ugliest person ever and you should die. But I'm just curious if men and women have like the similar fears in dating, and how can we like combat that so we can all start talking in person again? Like, we are all so reliant on the dating apps, and myself included, to be so clear. And I just like would love for that to change. Not sure how, but I'm just curious if even if it just starts with understanding each other better, that we're all afraid that we're gonna have like this intense reaction if we approach someone and they don't find us attractive or something like that.